All right, so today I am going to attempt to teach you how to do an easy gradient backdrop fade or blanket fade. Um, the first step is to make a new layer. So down here, just click the little folded paper thing. And then you are going to go over to your gradient tool, which is right here. You will go up to the top and you will make sure that it is selected on the second option in or second box in on the top row. So it's foreground to transparent. So once that's selected, you're going to go over here now and look at your little options. These are the only two you'll really ever need to use, I think. I like to use the radial gradient for blanket fades. That way it kind of fades all the corners a bit, whereas this one's great for backdrops because you can just fade from the top down. And then when you're on the radial gradient, you want to make sure it's clicked on to reverse. Now that I have my gradient selected that I want to use, I get to select my color. So I'm going to click Alt and find a color I want to use. And I want to go a little darker, so I'm going to go and select this corner right here because it's a little darker. If you don't have a darker color, you can select your shade of your blanket and kind of go up here and kind of just select a darker color within here or something. But all right, so I got my color selected. Now I'm just going to click the center of my subject or center focus, and I'm going to drag this out probably to like the corner. Sometimes it's too harsh. You're going to click it and drag it further. If you want it a heavier fade, you kind of click closer. So I'm going to go right here. And that gives a decent fade. I'm going to go actually a little bit heavier for a fade. I'm going to go a little bit more in. And now, since I don't want to have a foggy blue baby, I'm going to create a layer mask on my layer. Then I'm going to click B, and it brings me to my brush tool. So I can now erase, oops, make sure I'm on 100%, erase off my subject. Now I switch to 100% opacity to get everything off by just clicking 0. You can select your opacity just on the numbers on your keyboard. 1 equals 10, 2, 20, 3, 30, and so on. I'm going to do kind of a rough kind of edge around here to start and just get it all off of here. And I can always clean it up after. I'll zoom in on parts and so now see how I have an ugly halo right there? I can just press X. It'll bring me to white, which is to paint back on. And I will paint back on the gradient a little bit. And I can just keep switching back and forth by clicking X. And erase, 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 erase. Now I'm not going to make this perfect because I'm a perfectionist and I could be here all day, but once I have it basic to how I want it, I am going to then start making this larger. Clean up a few more areas. And I am then going to make it super, super large and click 2 to bring it down to 20%. And then I'm going to kind of nicely blend and fade out a little more gently on the front edge, kind of so that's a little more visible. And then I'm going to probably fade a little bit maybe bring it to 10% for a little bit. Now I'm going to actually switch it back to X, or press X and switch it back to white. And just kind of paint a little bit on there. Kind of look faded, but not too blue or anything. And that is a basic, easy gradient fade. And there's a before, after.